Hickok 45 here, and I got my AK out, which means it's a good day. So let's smoke some pot. Whoa, shot them all. One bullet. Nice. How about this 2 liter? Oh, staring me right in the face. And how about a red plate over there? Boom. Wow, hits it kind of hard. Must be a 7.62. Yeah, a real AK. Oh man, can it be an accurate AK? I don't know, let's talk about it. Let me show you what I've got. Oh, you sort of haven't seen it before, or maybe you have. Maybe you're going to be seeing double here. Well, look at that. Yeah, you know what it is. Yep, it's that Galil side folder Chinese AK, AKS 7.62. Lots of names, lots of things people call them. Let's put the mag back in this one so you can see that it looks a lot like this other one. Chamber's empty. Let's just lay it there. But look what you got. Now, let me put that in there. What is wrong with this? Let's see. Okay. They rock in just fine. At least I thought they did. What's wrong with this one? Okay, a little tight. There we go. Okay, so you're seeing double. Yeah, yep, got them both. As it says on the side, this is the model AKS 7.62, and it's sometimes known as the Galil folder Chinese AK or Chinese Galil folder. You see it listed differently because guess what? It has a folding stock. So does this one. So this is a chapter 2, which is a little weird because this is, to me, a new firearm. I just copied John because he found this one. You've seen the video, I hope. I will link to it because he goes into pretty much depth on these things, and I'll maybe repeat some of it, but this was John's about a year ago, I guess, and I fell in love with it and with this stock. Oh man, you know, he raved in the video about that stock for good reason, because it's long enough, and that's very important to us, as you know, and a lot of people. Even if you're average height, I think a lot of times the Warsaw Pact stocks on AKs are just kind of short and hard to use. But this thing, it's pretty nice. It's just about the right length. I mean, I can always use another ½ inch, but it's very, very nice. And it's a solid stock. It's like the Galil. That's why it's called often the Galil folder AK, because it's like the Galil folding stock. It's a nice sturdy thing. It's very solid. And as I understand, the Chinese just copied the Galil stock. You know, they're good at copying things, right? But yeah, that's kind of what they did, and I'm glad they did. And, well, I don't know about that, but it's a nice stock. And it's been one of the things about the AKs has always been a negative for me since I got my first one in the 80s, whenever that was. I think it was a 223, had the thumb hole stock and all that stuff, you know, the post band stuff or whatever. But and then I didn't like that. Maybe that was my second one. But I had one with the Warsaw Pact stock. It's too short. I tried to put stuff on it, and I just never could get it to fit right. And these were the days before stock sets and all that were available as much. You know, so before I go further and shoot it again, yeah, I'm just ecstatic that I get to shoot an AK today. It's a fun gun. You know, the old arguments between AKs and ARs and all that, you know, never end. We've added to that ourselves, and we may add some more to it. But AKs are fun. It doesn't have to be an either-or situation, right? Hopefully, if you've learned nothing else from our videos, you have hopefully gotten the impression that almost all firearms have something worthwhile about them in terms of being just fun to shoot, or a good sport shooting firearm, maybe a hunting firearm, a competition, maybe it's just something you like the way it's made. You don't even want to shoot it much, or maybe at all. You just admire the craftsmanship in it or something. Maybe it's not even a caliber you like. I don't know. There's just so many choices, aren't there? Well, these are kind of cool. They're an iconic firearm. Do I have to say that? The AK, whoever makes it, and they're just fun. That round, that AK round, I've liked for a long time. 30 caliber, but yet moderate power, easy to shoot, fun to shoot. In fact, let's shoot some more of them. All right, let's put one in the tube. Ah, there's some more pots down there. Nice. I see a cinder block over there. Yeah, this whole thing's a shooter. How about one on the gong even? Kind of hard on the gong, I guess. Well, I gotta prove to you I can miss. What could I miss? How about this green tank here? I hit it. How about that bowling pin? How about that bowling pin? How about those? Oh well, how about the burn barrel? Well, it's hard to miss with a fine firearm. Actually, what makes it a good shooter, you know what? It was empty. Funny. So coincidentally, I was ready to quit shooting and it ran out of ammo. Yeah, didn't hold, well, they don't generally hold the bolt back AKs, if you didn't know that. So yeah, these are kind of special. I know they're Chinese AKs. John talked about that, but they are really, really well made, and not well enough way. I gotta go through the Chinese business. First of all, by my buying this, and I've had it, wow, you've seen it in a Sunday shoot around. You know, every Sunday morning I do a Sunday shoot around and shoot just something I want to shoot. And of course, whenever I'm shooting a gun, it's something I want to shoot. But then I yak at you on Sunday mornings. But I had this out months ago, I guess, Sunday shoot around. And we've talked about this, how I know made in China, wow, it just becomes more distasteful all the time, doesn't it, to say that. But these were made in the 80s, all right? And it's not like you're supporting China if you find one of these on the market, on Gunbroker somewhere. And the other strange thing about them is, again, they are very well made. People who really know AKs better than we do will tell you that many of these Chinese AKs are some of the very best ones that have ever been made. I know it's hard to imagine because I picked up one of these, in fact I scratched it off. I think I bought these online somewhere. It had a little sticker on it, said made in China. And it just, when I saw that, I thought, it just, the connotations of that, made in China, you know, for a firearm that you're going to maybe rely on. Maybe you're going to take it to war, and you got this piece of hardware that says made in China. It's like when I was growing up, made in Japan had the same connotations. But, you know, in this sense, it's a good thing. Okay, whether you believe it or not, I mean, it is. It's a fact. They're just made extremely well. John took it apart and showed you the innards of it and everything in the video. So I don't need to do that, but they're really high quality. And again, one of the things that caught my eye on John's right away was that stock being long enough, and actually being a nice looking stock, and being like the Galil. I had a Galil 308, so I know the Galil stocks. And it doesn't latch like the Arsenal Sam 7 does, but you know, it doesn't matter, it's an AK. It comes out and it locks in nice and solid, and it's the right length, feels good. Trigger's good on this, and it's all stock, of course, so you just can't hate it. The only thing I might do is put a Krebs custom peep sight on it. I usually do that on my AKs. So can I take a couple of more shots? We won't overshoot it, but so yeah, let's go back to the 80s. These are based on what we can gather from research, people who seem to be in the know. There were about 400 or less, I think a maximum of 400 of these made it into the country with this stock, this Galil folder type stock, and that's why they're very pricey if you find one. I mean, they're a lot more than John or I paid for these, and I haven't had mine but about 6 months. But I mean, they go for crazy prices, like on Gun Broker and around, because there just were not many of them made, and they're so desirable. They're so well made, and that stock is just magnificent as far as I'm concerned. Now, back in the 80s, there weren't many people who had AKs or even ARs, really, that many. And I think this stock might have, I saw someone who said that it was a turnoff to shooters, but I don't know. I don't know how many American shooters that stock would be a turnoff to, even back in the 80s. But it might have been to some people, because at that point, if you wanted an AK, and that's what bothered me about the one I had with the thumb hole stock and everything, I wouldn't be interested in having an AK, a real AK, 7.62 AK. And I couldn't get used to that thumb hole stock. It was like, this isn't really an AK. This is a weird configuration, you know. And so I ended up getting a real one with a regular stock, but then it was way too short for me to shoulder and shoot and enjoy. But it was, you know, more like a real AK. And I think a lot of people might have that feeling, right? At least back then, okay? But again, that's before the time when there's so many replacement stocks and things available. Even on AKs, there's not as widely convertible as an AR, of course, but there are things now you can do. And my first AK, one of my first AKs I shot a lot was that Wasser, I guess, and I had a, I don't know, a polymer stock, I forget who made it, and it would extend like way out here. It was incredible. It looked really funky, I guess, on an AK, but it felt good. It felt good. And if you're a shooter, that's the difference. If you're just a collector, doesn't matter. If that stock is too short, you've got a really authentic AK and you can pull it out and show and hang it on the wall or whatever. But if you want to shoot them, that's not as desirable. You want something that feels good, okay? And let me shoot another. I got some ammo here. Yeah, you're shooting good old steel cased ammo out of steel magazines. I normally use the Circle 10 mags, but in this, I got to use Chinese mags, right? All right, have I missed yet? I got to miss something. Oh, there's a jug. Let's pop that red plate again, that square one. Nice. I'll shoot that really small red plate. Surely I can miss it. Well, couldn't miss it. I'll try the one to the right. And the right one. All right. I'm going to shoot at that barrel over there on the far hill, okay? Now you watch where it hits. There, okay. I missed. I achieved my goal. How about this cinder block right here? Sweet. We better pump a couple out. It's got a nice trigger. Let's just do it on the paper. Very nice trigger. Very nice. Let's put her on the gong. Yeah, thought I was about empty. Yeah, really sweet. Anyway, I'm glad to have it, and I've had it for a long time, and I thought, well, yeah, really, 6, 8 months. It wasn't long after John had his round, flaunting it, and I was shooting his, and I thought, oh boy, that I really like. And either he or I located one online. It's probably him, you know, and I couldn't resist it. But yeah, there are not many of them out there. It's not the only good AK, of course, available. And they've gotten kind of, they're so collectible. Probably a lot of people have them. They just put them on a shelf somewhere and plan to just make some money, you know, sometime selling it, because it's kind of a limited edition sort of thing. But it's just too cool not to shoot. Great trigger, great stock, well made, and it's a classic AK. You may not like that type of the tubular kind of stock, but I do. It's like my Sam 7 Arsenal, which is another topic. You might wonder why I don't have my Arsenal Sam 7 SF out here to compare. The stocks are very, very similar, except it locks over like that. In fact, the firearms are very similar. It's a very high quality firearm, and so is this, even though this one's Chinese. I'll let you know where it is one day. It's going to show up, I hope, before too long. Those of you who watch the Sunday shoot-around videos, Sunday mornings, you know where it is, right? So, what else did I not tell you about it? I'll link to John's video on his, because his is it's a little bit like this one, right? Like an exact duplicate. And he went into a lot of the history, I guess, or recent history of it. But anyway, I just had to have one, and I wanted to come out and shoot it, and I thought we better invite you along. And yeah, it's always fun to shoot an AK. Hopefully you're not one of those people who does nothing but shotguns or likes nothing but AR-15s, and you would never own an AK, or you would never own a single action revolver or whatever. Don't be a gun bigot. Shoot an AK sometime if you've never fired one. They're really cool. I prefer the 30 caliber. If I'm going to shoot the little bullet, the little fast bullet, the little screaming bullets like 5.56, and you know, the AK-74 round, you know, I just have an AR if I'm going to shoot a bullet like that. But in 30 caliber, in kind of an intermediate size cartridge, this is great. So hopefully I don't really want to entice you, because you probably don't need to spend the kind of money to get something like this. There's a lot of nice AKs out there. But if you're 6'8", you might be tempted. This baby and this stock is wonderful. So I guess you can tell I like it too. So I'm glad you came out today, and we'll catch you on the next video. Life is good.
Oh yeah, that's better. This is a great gun for defense. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there. While I've got you here, I want to remind you of our friends over at Talon Grips and Ballistol. Talon Grips makes grips, can you believe it, for all different types of firearms. You can get rough texture or more of a rubberized texture. It just sticks right on there. You know, really affordable, really cool option to improve the grip for your handguns or rifles. So please check them out at talongungrips.com. You'll be glad you did. And also Ballistol. Dad has been using Ballistol for many years. It's a cleaner and a lubricant, and it's non-toxic. It works really great, and we're happy to have them on board since it's been a part of our shooting endeavor for a very long time. So go to ballistol.com, talongungrips.com. And also, while you're out there, I'm juggling all these things here. Also, while you're on the internet, please do check out our other social media like Hickok45 on Facebook. There's also Hickok45 on Twitter, The Real Hickok45 on Instagram. There's a John_Hickok45 on Instagram where I do some things. There's Hickok45.com. You can find us also on Gunstreamer. So check out all that stuff and then watch more videos.